Okay, people, so it is May 24th, 2017. This is where I'm getting up into now. There's raccoon poo over there. But what we need to do is fix this. So I think I'm going to have to get the skill saw out, do something. And I want to extend this out here and make another box, right? Like these ones here. This is carrots. I'll put some parsnip in there. And then I'm going to try and extend this out a little bit for beets. Carrots grew really, really well in here last year. So it'd be nice if I can do parsnips, carrots, and beets. And then when it comes harvest time, I'm telling you people, the most simplest thing, shred them, bag them, freeze them. Hold on. Oh yeah. And cucumbers are growing like everywhere. They're growing up in the X Club there, / greenhouse / painting room. And as you can see, we got the mother load going in there. So I got to start stringing up something. Andre, turn off the water. Here's some more. You can see I got a full tray going up. Well, I don't know about a full tray, but I've got lots growing. I think, yeah, a full tray in up in the other area there. We've got some other things that were mixed up in that bowl, right? I'm pretty sure those are cucumbers. Obviously, the beans are coming up now, right? Everything's coming. Here's some tomato plants and some squashes or something. I don't know. I know those little ones are tomato plants, right? And this one hasn't, something wants to pop through, so this is going to pop through in the next day or two. Hold on. Okay. So as you can see, I fixed this floppy thing here, old pallet. Just extended a board. I lined it on this side because dirt eats wood, rain eats wood. So this is going to be parsnips, carrots, beets. I have to clean up that raccoon poo too. And then you can see the old potatoes are growing there. So I'll probably dig them up and move them somewhere else. There's a couple more in there. Right, I'll put them off into one corner. Right, because this little carrot patch was perfectly fine for last year. So, hold on. Okay, so Andre and I, we found some potatoes growing in here. You can see. It'll actually be enough for a meal. But we're going to put them back in the ground over here somewhere. Probably on this side. Sorry. As you can see, I pulled off another board. This thing is starting to lean too. So I'm going to take out a bunch of that and add it in here. Because that's primo dirt full of nutrients. I'm going to get some dirt from over there. I'm going to fill it up a little bit in here. And then I'm going to take some from there. I'm going to put it in there. And then we're going to plant. We'll be back. Okay. I can only assume this is working, people. I'm going to plant some carrots in here. And then some beets over there. So, I just want to remind people that as I do this stuff, it makes me very, very tired, right? Like I said, I wake up with my ears screaming. I go to bed with them screaming. Right? I feel like somebody's stepping on my head. You know, trying to poke out my eyeballs. Obviously, this aggravates it, right? But, you know, what you're going to do, I'd like to also remind people that when Uncle John went missing, the Duncan clan and their supporters and affiliates jumped on the bandwagon and tried to get me evicted from my home. Because I guess they figured if they got me evicted from my home, everything would get all torn up. Right? And I'd get distracted. And my life would really fall apart. Right? And when that didn't work, because they were calling the city, calling my landlord from the States, could have very well been John's adopted daughter's friend up in California, which it probably was. Right? Among other people. And when that didn't work, when they weren't successful in getting me evicted from this house, right? Because the city had me out there for a year in this yard, even though I'd already been in this yard since 2011. Oh, I think I might have to take off my gloves for this one. They gave up. Right? Because I have videos of me working in this yard since 2011. Well, 2010, but it really started in 2011. And, what do you call it? Sometimes these secondary gloves don't necessarily protect my fingers from the mud. But whatever. Anyway, when that didn't work, alright, then they went on to try and get my grandson taken away from me. Okay? Because they wanted to destroy my life so I wouldn't fight for Uncle John. That's what it was, people, because none of that shit happened until Uncle John went missing. They had to try and cover up their tracks. Right? They put Uncle John in that Germany little outfit that Debbie likes to play on her computer with, and they hogtied him. That's what they did. They hogtied him because it's already in their mindset, right? Right? That's why he could never call. That's why they never allowed him to talk to a lawyer. Right? Because it was all about getting his money. It took him about 4 months to figure out how to take over his assets. Then they moved him out into the freaking country where nobody would see him except for the ones that did this to him. And then when they got tired of looking after him just so that they can say they had him for a year, they kept him for actually less than a year. Right? Because he didn't move into his sister's house. Well, sorry. He wasn't moved into his sister's house until about May or June. Right? And he was only there until January of 2017. And because they didn't want me to see the $1,700 keep coming out of the account in, 2016. Right? The bank fucked with the cards to kick me out. Right? And that's why they don't want it to go to trial, people, because what they did was wrong. And they know it. Right? So basically, Fraser Health and the bank almost had me get evicted from my home. Almost had me lose my grandson. Have been trying to bankrupt me ever since. They facilitated the medical kidnapping of my stepdad. Right? Because they don't care if we starve. Basically. Right? Like I said, who wouldn't be happy to be able to plant food when you have no money? You have nowhere to go. You have no way of correcting things. Alright? So anyway, we'll have some carrots and some beets and some turnips. I don't think you can see me. Hold on a minute. And some carrots. Oh, I kind of messed it up here now. I don't know what I've done. Anyway, I'll just put them in here as is. Right? Because it's all about, I'm telling you people, it's all about protecting the public guardian trustee and what they do with the majority. Because Uncle John was just a bone. He was the bone for those crooked nurses that cruise those halls looking for vulnerable old people that they can steal their assets from. Right along with the rest of those workers that get involved, whether it's the bank, personnel, right? Or whether it's, what do you call it? Fraser Health, or any kind of health authority out in this part of the woods, or whether it's, I'm just going to throw some beets in here now. I kind of ran out. There's some old ones that got wet. I don't know if they'll grow. I'll just put them in here because I ran out of carrot seeds. I lost my other pack. I don't know where it is. It kind of got wet, so maybe it might not be no good no more. And whether it's you get the point, right, people? Don't you find that to be very retaliatory? All of a sudden, out of the blue, people trying to get me evicted from my home, people trying to get me to lose my grandson, all because I stood up for Uncle John and I spoke out about the corruption within our public service sector systems that are desperate for money and will get it by any means necessary. They don't care who they hurt, how they hurt them. Right? And the more they can hurt you, the more they can bury their path. That's what it is, people. Right? If they can successfully hurt you time after time after time, they think that by doing that, they're going to get away with what they do. So, who wouldn't be happy to have a 8-year-old compost that's got some really good dirt in it? So seriously, people, what is it that I did so wrong? Huh? I looked after a person that went blind because nobody was there to help him. Right? His sick wife couldn't do it. Didn't want to do it. And his spoiled brat adopted daughter, who couldn't get horseback riding anymore at the age of 12 or whatever the heck it was, decided that she didn't like him and wasn't going to talk to him anymore. And she basically stopped talking to him for 3 years until I showed up. That's why he was talking to me. And his family, his loving sisters and wayward brother that really doesn't give a rat's ass about John except for maybe what he's going to inherit from him, were never around to help him with cleaning the house or doing anything for him. They basically told him to divorce Joan. That was it. Right? I told him, no, don't divorce. Stay married. You've been married all these years. Why get divorced? Eventually, though, he had to leave, though, right? Because he couldn't handle nothing moving in that apartment except your feet sticking to the floor because of the cat urine. Because neither Joan or Debbie liked to clean, and that's the bottom line. With me and the kids, he had a full life, people. He was out in the yard, you know. He was always with the kids. He ran with the pack. He had motivation to get up out of bed and walk like his doctor told him. The best thing that you can do, Mr. Duncan, is walk, walk, walk. And that's what he did. Even when he got depressed, he got out of bed and walked, people. Because he had happiness in his life. Something that the bank and the Fraser Health authorities or other freaking Vancouver Island authority, any kind of health authority, doesn't seem to care about. Right? Seems to think it's okay to facilitate the medical kidnapping of elderly people, once they get to a point where they can't defend themselves, simply because they can lock them out of bank accounts, accuse them of this and accuse them of that, deny them access to lawyers, right? Treat the immediate family like garbage, right? Try and get them to lose their houses, their home, right? Try and get them to lose the little ones in the house, right? Because, you know, again, it just derail, right? If I'm talking about Andre being taken away, then I'm not talking about Uncle John being medically kidnapped. If I'm talking about losing my house, and I actually lose my house, then I'm not talking about Uncle John being medically kidnapped. Do you see how that works? Right? And nobody wants to take any responsibility for that, because they don't have to, because they know that if you go to pro bono's not going to help you, right? Because that's not what they're there for. They're not there to help people file lawsuits against corporations that prop up their income, right? So anyway, I have to do this compost box here this year, you can see, all right? So what we do, we go in here with a pitchfork, and we get everything to come down. And then I'm gonna, eventually it's gonna drop. All right, but get out as much as I can. And then I'm gonna disperse this through the yard. And since I'm in here, I'm telling you stuff, this is better than being homeless. This is better than living in an apartment that I can't afford after I give away all my stuff, right? And still not be able to afford to pay the bills because I got left with everything after I got used, right? Used by the Duncan clan. You know, like I said, they weren't there for Uncle John, right? Because if they were there for Uncle John, people, he would have been there for them. He would have been there with them. Right? But they weren't there for him. That's the point. That's why he was with me. I'm 55 years old right now. I'm not feeling very well. And you can see how hard I work. You can just imagine what it's been like in all the years that he lived with me. Right? He admired that in me. He encouraged me to keep trying on things like the non-profit. Right? And whatnot. Obviously this board's no good no more. Right? But we got some really, really, really good dirt here. People pay for this dirt. I don't know. I don't have to. Right? I make it. And now I get to reap what I sow. Basically. Right? Now look at that. Oh. Then I take a bucket like this. Make sure I don't step on any nails. Alright. This is the way we do it. Come on this side. I'm going all the way around. See, right? Oh, this is nice dirt, people. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Very, very high in nutrients. Mm. So now I'll be carting this shit around for the next 2 weeks. I'm working on the other one too, up by that grapevine. So what I'm going to do, now that I've just planted these carrots as a natural fertilizer, alright, I'm just going to take a little bit, sprinkle over top. Right, just like that. Take out the roots. And they're mostly grass roots. Right. Just like that. Just a little bit. You can always add in more later. Right. When it rains, the rain will wash it in. Because this has got some serious nutrients in it, people. Right. This is what I do. And then after I plant it, I go out every day between front and back, and I'm watering. And then after I'm watering, I'm processing it, whether I'm canning it, or freezing it, or dehydrating it, whichever. Right. So I pretty much do this all year round. I only get a very small window of, there's a nice beautiful rock. I keep that one. I only get a small window of peace in terms of yard work for a couple, 2-3 months in the middle of winter. After that, you know, and they know it because they've been watching my videos for a long time, people. That's another thing. You know, they use that to their advantage because they know that if I don't come out here and do things, the weeds will pick up real fast. You know, things will erode because of the polluted rains that come down. It destroys everything, right? The weeds will overtake the yard, right? They know it. They know I'm busy, right? They've known that for a long time. I used to do this and then have to go in and start washing the floor and start cooking at 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, whatever it was, washing the floor at 2 o'clock in the morning after I did yard work all freaking day long. I was healthier back then, though. I had the stamina. I used to put in 16, 18 hours a day. Guaranteed 16. Right? Now it's not like that. I don't have that much stamina. I can't go that fast and that long. Not anymore. Like I say, I wake up sick. I literally wake up sick. I have to turn my head upside down like this, you see? I turn it upside down like this, and that's how I blow my nose out sometimes. Right? Because if I blow it this way, it doesn't work, so I have to turn my head like that. Just to try and really get it going, right? Because, you know. But this is better than sitting up in some apartment starving to death, I can tell you that right now. Not being able to pay my commerce bill, right? As they close my account and I end up out by the front room homeless shelter, right? Well, the Duncan clan is laughing along with the bank and Fraser Health, right? Because that's pretty much what it boils down to. So, there we go. Hold on a minute. Now you can see. Oh, there goes the camera's screen. So that's parsnips. That's all beets. And that's mostly carrots with a few beets. So now I have to take this little black screen and cover it over, otherwise the cats will get up in it, right? And then I will continue emptying out this compost. I will start taking it up off the top, putting it over there, cutting them up fine and small. Hold on a minute, I'll show you what else I have to do over here. Alright. There's that raccoon poo. I have to clean that. I'm going to start cleaning up that, like, where is it? It's right in there. Right, it's nasty. But it could be worse. It could be all over the place, I suppose. So in here, boards are rotting out. That was to keep the morning glory out. Morning glory is still getting through. So I have to lay another board down. But I'm making garden beds right now. I have to still do something in here. It looks like my cucumber thing fell down. It dropped. So I have to fix it. And there's one raspberry bush doing pretty good. I already been in here, did all this, so we'll be back. Hold on.